गुड मॉर्निंग बच्चों, गुड मॉर्निंग। गुड मॉर्निंग बच्चों, प्लीज ज्वाइन द क्लास। गुड मॉर्निंग, गुड मॉर्निंग बच्चों, गुड मॉर्निंग पीपल आउट देयर, यूट्यूब पीपल, गुड मॉर्निंग एवरीवन। अबाउट टू गेट द, ये जल्दी हो गई क्लास? नहीं, ठीक है। We are about to reach noon, so I can say good noon to all of you. Be happy, greetings for the day. Have a wonderful and fruitful day, useful day. So good morning बच्चों, let me start now and assignment, please confirm the assignment has been reached to you. Assignments, you received the assignments बच्चों? Assignments no, then I was not. Just check in a while. Assignments will be posted in the group. Those who have joined with me, that group, హలో
సార్ గుడ్ మార్నింగ్ సార్, సిస్టా టెక్నీషియన్ మాట్లాడుతున్నాను సార్ నేను.
హలో
సార్ కదా, అడ్రస్ ఎక్కడండి ఇది?
పోరంకి పోరంకి పోరంకి
ఫోరెంకిలో ఎక్కడ సార్? ఫోరెంకి సెంటర్ వచ్చి కాల్ చేయమంటారా?
come after 1:30 1:40. I am not at home. भैया तेलुगु రాలేదు भैया.
ओके सर, व्हाट आई एम सेइंग सर, एक्चुअली आपका शेड्यूल है सर, आप कहाँ है सर?
हाँ, मैं अभी ऑफिस में हूँ. आप 1:30 1:40 पे घर पे आ जाइए प्लीज.
ऑफिस कहाँ है सर आप?
ऑफिस में बिल्कुल बिजी हूँ मैं. फोन भी नहीं है मेरे पास, फोन तो घर पे रखा है.
घर में दूसरा नहीं है सर?
नहीं, घर पे कोई दूसरा नहीं है, लॉक है.
लोकेशन से शेड्यूल नहीं होता.
शेड्यूल मैंने बोला था उनको 1:30 के बाद देने के लिए. मैंने रिक्वेस्ट किया था. आप आएंगे ना आज? I'm sorry, bachcho. I think now the voice is coming. I'm sorry, I didn't see that. Now coming. Sorry, sorry. What I am saying that the assignment has been shared with you to the people, those who are there in the group, that WhatsApp group that we have made. That is an unofficial one. It's not an official one, but just some people have given their WhatsApp, and then I have just joined them. I made a group so that I send once and all can get, rather than sending them one by one. Okay. So time to time assignments we are sharing. Day before yesterday, this assignment was ready. So yesterday I just forgot, and none of you remind me also. I told you to remind in the evening. Just now, when it was confirmed that you don't get the assignment, I am now sending from my mobile. Okay, so just now assignments have been shared with you. Number one. No, you can just, you know my number, you can ping me. To join the group, you can just say, I'm so and so in long-term online class, or just online class. I will understand that it is a long-term online class. Okay, bacho? So that is simple thing. Just my personal number, and you can just ping me on that number. Okay. Books for courier, but for this, I think Prasad ji, or maybe the person who is, he knows when he has sent and how. I mean, how long it will take for the books to reach you. So that is a different department which is taking care of. And bacho, please, you can talk to them. They will guide you. The exercise has got four type of assignments, four type of the assignment has got four type of exercise. The first one is the simple fill in the blank. NCERT pages are there. You read the page of NCERT and do the assignment. What is that? The important lines of the NCERT are there with important words, keywords missing. Okay, and new joiner. Okay, beta, I'll share my number. Definitely I'll share. Meanwhile, just concentrate on the class. I'll definitely share my number without any problem. Okay, so what I'm saying to you, that assignment has got one exercise, fill in the blank. It is compulsory for all of you, because that will help you to be assured that you have read the NCERT thoroughly and you will be able to recall in the examination. Okay, number one. Number two, there is an exercise NCERT based one, and many questions are there as compared to the other two exercises. I called it exercise number one. Second one, the second multiple choice type of exercise, I called it 1 Pro. And the third one is called 1 Pro Max. So three type of bits, and these are the multiple choice questions. They are being named like that. Fill in the blanks are general; they are compulsory. So whether it is 1 Pro or 1 Pro Max or anything, that is compulsory. Okay. So just it came in my mind and I have shared. But so now let us start quickly. Please tell me digestion and absorption kitna reh gaya beta? Digestion and absorption, tell me. Up to when YouTube classes will continue? Few more days only. Few more days beta. Please tell me digestion and absorption, how long? Tongue complete or tongue we started? I like these type of children who are writing mainly of the subject. Very good. Up to tongue complete. I told you about the frenulum. I told you frenulum. I told you about the taste buds. Papilla. Some of the papilla have taste buds. I told about that. Wonderful. Did I tell you that there are four basic type of taste? Sweet, salty, sour, and bitter. I told you. Okay. The fifth one is a newly discovered one called umami, which is a tangy taste. I told you that all the other flavors are just smell, they are smell. For example, tea and coffee are smell. Otherwise, it is a hot drink, hot sweet drink. But tea and coffee are smell. Onion, garlic are just smell. So smell play a very important role in our gustation. The gustatory receptors are only for 4 or at max 5, means umami. And the different type of taste are taste, which is out of the 5, plus smell, and both of them collectively called flavor. Flavor. Okay, but so tongue complete. After that, now I'll talk to you about teeth. All of you, please take out your take out your textbook also and the notebook, mainly notebook and stationery, and you can write down the teeth. Maybe you have done them earlier, but then also main words. Otherwise, you will tend to feel sleepy. Therefore, I am saying that keep a pen in your hand and try to jot down, because the moment you do like this, you tend to feel sleepy. But so teeth, in most of the mammals, the type of teeth are, one is heterodont. Heterodont. Don't means dentition. Then we have thecodont. Thecodont and diphyodont. Diphyodont. Heterodont, thecodont, diphyodont. Most of the mammals, not all, better remember, not all, but most mammals, not all, exceptions are there. Most mammals, including humans, they have 3 type of teeth. Hetero means different, theco means embedded, and diphyodont means 2. Di means 2. But a heterodont means we have 4 different type of teeth. They are incisor, canine, premolar, and molar. Thecodont means that the teeth are embedded in the bony socket of the jawbone, and teeth are embedded there. Thecodont. Diphyodont means 2 sets of teeth appear during lifetime. 2 sets of teeth appear during lifetime. The first one, just after birth, you will have the primary dentition. By the year 2 years of age, we get about 20 teeth. They represent primary dentition, or milk teeth, or deciduous teeth. Deciduous. The meaning of deciduous is the one that shed. Deciduous ante, the one that shed. Then we have 32 permanent teeth, secondary teeth or permanent teeth. So 2 sets of teeth appear during lifetime. In most of the mammals, the teeth are in the order of, if I take 1/2 of the body, so from the center if I start, we have incisors, then canine, then premolar and molar. Here also incisor, canine, premolar, molar. Is the number fixed? No, number is not fixed. In different animals, different number is there, right? Even the teeth nature is also different. The type of cusp is also different, right? But yes, incisor is in the place, incisor is there, then canines, then premolar and molar. This order is there. So if we can know the number of 1/2, the other half can be understood. You understand? Only 1/2 to understand. Both the upper and lower jaw. So that is called dental formula. Dental formula is the type and number, okay, of the different teeth in 1/2 of the jaws. Beta, jaws, upper jaw, lower jaw. Once again, the order of the teeth: incisor, canine, premolar and molar. Okay, this is 1/2. Here also, incisor, canine, premolar and molar. And this number is same. So why to do again? Okay, so we just do 1/2. 1/2, okay, and whatever the number, will multiply it by 2. So in case of humans, the adults, or just say man, okay? If adult is not mentioned, understood it is adult. The dental formula is twice 102. Now this is two incisors in the upper jaw, one canine, and two premolars and three molars in the upper jaw. Same in the lower jaw, two incisors, one canine, two premolars and three molars. The total number of teeth, let us count them. So 3 plus 2, 5 plus 1, 6 plus 2, 8. Now 8 and 8, 16. And I told you to get the number, multiply it by 2. So total number becomes 32. 32. So this is the, like you and me, we have these type of teeth. The third molar appear very late. So some of you might not have the third molar. So otherwise all the teeth are exactly like this. The infant means, or let us say the baby, 2 years of age, has 20 teeth, and the dental formula for the milk teeth is 2102 upon 2102. Total number 2 plus 1, 3 plus 2, 5, 5 and 5, 10, and 10 into 2 is 20. But so you understand what is this? Okay. So the dental formula for the permanent teeth, this is the permanent teeth, secondary dentition, okay, also called the permanent teeth, and this is the primary dentition, also called the deciduous teeth, not forget this name, also called the milk. So the milk one is deciduous, milk teeth. But so please learn the number of these teeth, total number also. If I ask you how many incisors are there in the upper jaw of an adult, how many incisors are there in the upper jaw of an adult? Come on, write the answer. Try the answer, everyone. How many incisors are there in the upper jaw of the adult? Vivo, your answer is wrong. Prema, your answer is right. Some people, Pavan, answer is wrong, beta. I said upper jaw, how many incisors are there in the upper jaw? So what you have to do? Multiply by 2. So 2 is here, na beta. So multiply by 2, that means 4. Any number, how many canines? 1. Okay. So multiply by 2 become 2. So 1 canine here, 1 canine here. Premolars, 2 is there. Multiply by 2. Any number, multiply by 2 to get the total number of the teeth in the dentition. But the dental formula is just giving 1/2. That is not complete, it is half. Okay. One more thing, a doubt can come to your mind, sir. Like we are doing it half and multiplying by 2. Fine. Sir, why we are writing upper and lower jaw separate? We can write any one jaw and multiply by 4. We can write, sir, any one jaw and multiply by 4. Yes, this can be done only for humans. But it is not a rule. Why it is not accepted? Because, okay, in humans, we have same number of teeth. In other mammals, the upper jaw has a different number and lower jaw has a different number. So maybe the canines are absent in the lower jaw. Okay. Or maybe the premolar number is different in the different jaws. That is the reason 1/2 is always taken as per the rule. But I hope you understand. So 32 minus 20, this gives rise to 12. So 12 teeth appear only once in lifetime. 12 teeth appear only once in lifetime. They can be called as monophyodont teeth. Monophyodont teeth. Who will tell me the dental formula for the monophyodont teeth? I know the limitation of typing, so just try and I will understand that you really know the answer. I understand the limitation of typing. So just write 1/4. If you write 1/4, I'll understand that, because in human, lower jaw is also the same. But so yes, you are right. 3 people I can see here, and I think many are writing. Beautiful answer. This is 0021 upon 0021. clearly seen that incisors and canines are not coming. I mean, they are replaced totally. Okay. So here we have 2102 upon 2102, and they completely replaced in the permanent teeth also 2123 upon 2123. So you can clearly see that these teeth are completely replaced. But this teeth is absent in the primary dentition. Which one is this? Premolar. And all have come in the secondary dentition. So we can write 2 and 2. Also, there are only 2 molars in the primary dentition and 3 molars. So the third molar appear, and because that appear late in the life, about 18 years of age, by the time we assume that the person has got wisdom, and therefore it is called wisdom tooth. There is no relation with the wisdom, it is just the name. The third molar, this one, this is called the wisdom tooth. Wisdom tooth. Okay, bachcho? So I think this much is clear to everyone. Done? Do you know, if I ask you one question, you know that the thecodont teeth are embedded in the bony sockets? Now, why I'm asking, because in the NCERT, there is a diagram also you can see, and I'll show you that diagram, what I'm referring to here. I will show you that diagram. Okay, let's come here. In the NCERT, there is a picture. This one. Bachcho, this picture shows the sockets. Just see the sockets carefully here. See the socket of incisor, canine, premolars, and molars. See that incisors and canines have only one root, and premolars and molars have 3 or 2 roots. Either 3 or 2 roots. Now this is the upper jaw. This is the upper jaw. How do I know? I'll let you know later on. Right now, just see the roots. You can see that the root for the premolars are present here. But as you see that the premolars are absent in the primary dentition. So what do you think? Do you find a gap here between incisor and molar? Is there any gap between incisor and molar in a baby? Is there any gap between incisor and molar, a gap for the 2 teeth? Or no? First answer yes or no. Yes. Huh? No, there is no gap, beta. There is no gap. Between incisors and molar, there is no gap. Means what? A baby has a small jaw, okay? And in his jaw, there are like 20 teeth are there. So this is a baby, 2102. So how many sockets are there in the upper jaw? 2 here, 1 here, 3, and these 2 are 5. After the incisor, directly the sockets for the molar are there. In the permanent teeth, these premolars, they appear in the sockets of the molar. The premolars, they come in the sockets of the molar, in the sockets of molars, molars of primary dentition. The molars of primary dentition. You understand the point? So there is no gap as such. Incisor, tarvata, molars. But in the permanent teeth, in those sockets, premolars of permanent come. Then what about the molars of permanent? 3 new sockets appear. 3 new sockets appear. 2 at a time, and the third one late when we have the third molar arise. Okay, so 3 new sockets appear for them, right? So teeth come out, and automatically at the base there is a socket. So please remember that in the sockets for the molar of the primary, the premolar of the secondary appear. Have you understood this one? Have you understood? Have you understood, beta? Everyone tell me, have you understood this? Very, very good. Minoti, you are asking about diastema. Which ema? Diastema. Diastema is a natural gap between the teeth. This is no diastema. What is diastema? Natural gap between the teeth. For example, in case of rabbit, there is a diastema between incisor and premolar. There is a gap because canines are absent. Such a cute animal, God has not given canines to them. You understand? Got the point? Okay. Canines are mainly working in case of the carnivores. Those who have to kill the animal and also have to tear the flesh. All the non-vegetarian humans, we are eating the flesh which is properly cooked. If it is not cooked, we cannot eat that. We need not to kill the animal. We need not to tear the flesh. And that is the reason our canines are very much, reduced. In fact, they don't do anything. These canines are of no big use in human. Understood? Okay. And these canines, these are absent in case of rabbit. The canine and the third molar in human is of no use. It is not doing any function. Can we call it vestigial? Yes, we can call it vestigial. Can we call it vestigial? Pakka, we can call it vestigial. But so you understood? Okay. So I hope you understand the diastema. Okay. This is only for our knowledge, for our general knowledge, and of course the knowledge, because after all, we need to know about the skull and all, jaws, and therefore this is required. But so the upper jaw is maxilla, the lower jaw is mandible. We know that. Therefore, upper jaw teeth are called maxillary teeth and lower jaw teeth are called mandibular teeth. Maxillary teeth, upper jaw teeth, lower jaw teeth are mandibular teeth. Is the point clear to everyone? Understood? Is the point clear? If you can say, then we can proceed. Yes, Minoti, you are right. The rabbit, there is a diastema between the incisors and premolar, which means there is a gap there. But in case of the baby having the primary dentition, better there is no gap. So new teeth appear in the new sockets. Therefore, the size of the jawbone increase. As we grow, the size of the jawbone also increase. Understood? Very good. Very good, Bachu. You understood. Very good. I hope I have made all this clear to you. Okay. So now coming to the other aspect of the teeth. The teeth can be divided into three parts, and the one which help in really cutting, shearing, that is known as the the crown. Then the one which is enclosed within the gums is called the neck. I repeat, the teeth can be distinguished between in these three regions. Once again, the part that is exposed, this is called the crown. The part which is enclosed by the gums, this much part, the one which is enclosed by the gums, this part is called the neck, this much part. And the part which is inside the jawbone, this part is called the root. So, three regions, okay, right? What is this? Crown. What is this? Neck. What is this? Root. Understood? Very good. The crown is mainly made up of this hardest substance in the body, which is called enamel. Understood? The crown is mainly made up of the hardest substance in the body called enamel. The major bulk of tooth is formed by another substance, and this is known as canines. The major bulk of tooth is formed by another substance which is known as dentine. So here is dentine. Villi. The major bulk of teeth is dentine. It is better I should not shade it. Otherwise, it will mess up with the diagram and nothing will be understood in the camera. So, bacho, let us clean this part. Okay, done. This part, which is This one, this is the dentine. Dentine is formed by cells known as odontoblast. This you see the cavity inside. This is the root canal. This is the root canal. This complete is the root and this is the root canal. And inside the root canal, the tissue is called pulp. This is called pulp. We can say that these cells which make the dentine, they line the pulp cavity or root canal. They line the pulp cavity, and beta, these cells are going to make the dentine. These cells have tiny projections of the membrane. These cells have projections of the membrane. As you can see that they can have projections of the membrane, and what they are doing, they are secreting this substance which makes this dentine. The name dentine, D-N-T-I-N-E, dentine. The color of the dentine is usually of white to white. Some people have yellow dentine. That is the reason even what they can clean the teeth, they can just use any toothpaste. It is not the enamel which is yellowish. It is the dentine which is yellow, and that is the reason the teeth appear yellowish. So any toothpaste, any type of chemical can only harm the enamel. And remember, if the enamel is lost, it cannot come back again because the cells that make the enamel, they degenerate after making the enamel. Shall I say again? Yes, the cells that make the enamel, they degenerate after forming the enamel. So we should not lose the enamel. Bachcho, you see the pulp cavity, and what do you expect inside the pulp cavity? Inside the pulp cavity, there is a sensory nerve. There is a sensory nerve, okay? So these sensory neurons can be seen, sensory neurons, sensory nerve, and therefore, whenever there is infection in the pulp, the sensory neuron, it becomes activated, and we will feel the pain. So basically, these are the pain receptors. What do you find? This is a pain receptor, pain receptor, pain receptor. And you will learn later on that pain receptors are nothing but the free nerve endings. The free nerve endings are working like pain receptors. Bachcho, that's the reason we get pain, and that's the reason. Suppose in some people there is a gap between the gums and the teeth. There is a gap, and that is the, and sometimes even the gums are eroded. In some people the gums are eroded because they use very very hard bristles. If they use very hard bristles, sometimes there is an erosion of the gums. Then what? Then you see, whenever you take either very cold or very hot, either very cold or very hot food, you can see that you are very close. Now you are very close to the nerve, and therefore this nerve get activated, and we will feel sensation. So all the sensitivity is basically activation of this neuron. All the sensitivity is basically due to activation of this neuron. The pulp cavity, when it is infected, then this neuron is heavily painful. It is carrying the pain sensation to the brain. But I hope this is clear to you. So dentine is clear to you. I'll now show the bone. So the jawbone I am showing now. This is the jawbone. Jawbone, right? This is the jawbone. Jawbone. And there is a cementum, a substance which surround the dentine of the root. A substance so that the dentine may not disintegrate. A substance, and there is a fibrous bands are there. Fibrous bands are there connecting the bone and the dentine. Connecting the bone and the dentine, fibrous bands are there. These fibrous bands form a membrane. I will be the happiest if you can tell me the name of this membrane. Bachcho, tell me the name of this membrane. However, it is not a membrane. These are the ligaments, These are the ligaments. But then still, we are calling it a membrane. Anyone can tell me the name of the membrane? Anyone?
Hi, this is a response call from Nissan about your order for next formal trousers. Pick up your English Great. What?
Beta, tell me what was the last thing that you heard? Please tell me. Voice not coming? After phone call. Oh my gosh. Sorry. Yes, this membrane is called periodontal membrane. It's called periodontal membrane. I was saying that if the periodontal membrane is digested, then the teeth cannot be held inside, because this membrane is responsible for anchorage of the teeth inside the socket. In young children, when the teeth they fall and the new teeth come. So for falling, so enzymes digest this periodontal ligaments, this membrane, and then when there is no periodontal membrane, the teeth become loose and the teeth come out, and a new teeth appear in the socket. Is the point clear? So what is the name of this membrane? Periodontal membrane. Where it is? It is surrounding the cementum. Is cementum really cementing? No. The cementum it's just made up of connective tissues and it is not anchoring. The teeth require some other structures. Is the point clear to you? Okay, bachon? Done. Now coming voice, beta. Coming voice. Okay. These 45 children, I'm really requesting you, beta, that I'm teaching with very much energy and full dedication. I really love this work, okay? And I want that teaching, you should not feel that the class is amazing, enchanting, but after the class, you get some new database and you learn something, and your abilities before the class and after the class are different. So now you become little different, your abilities increase. That is always the aim, okay? So what my only suggestion or request is, do not drop out of the class. Let me complete the things. Then you can drop out of the class. Okay, bachon? Shall I proceed now? Okay. So 45 children are there. Sir, few teeth don't fall like teeth upon teeth. Ha, beta, that is a different thing. We can now continue with the main points. So, beta, then what he will do? Then after that, he will then ask you to come after some time when the pain is gone. After that, what he will do? Okay, so if pain is gone, then he will chop off. He will chop this part. He will chop this part. By a chisel, he will chop. Or there are some drillers, some he will chop. And after that, he will put a glue there and he will place a cap over it. And exactly the cap is like the original teeth. In fact, this comes on order. So those 7-10 days, this order will be, fulfilled. And, the color of the teeth is also totally matched with your other teeth, with your natural teeth. So then he placed this cap over it and this therapy is done. You know what this therapy called? This therapy is called RCT. I have explained you in a very simplified manner. RCT, root canal therapy. He made a canal in the root and then sucked out all the bad thing, burnt all the remaining tissue, and then he chopped off the top surface and placed and then glue, and then he glue a cap over it. Normally this glue cannot be, it cannot be broken further unless they use some chemical to break it. It cannot come out now. Okay, so this is now done. This is how the therapy RCT is completed. You must be asking, sir, why he want to put a cap? If you don't want that, okay, no cap, then what? Then what? Actually, you can see that before this therapy, the teeth was living. Yes or no? It was living. Blood capillaries are there. So odontoblasts, they are getting the nutrients and making the dentine, right? So before that, the tooth was a living tissue. After that, all the capillaries are now burnt, and now this becomes totally dead. Then what? If the tooth is dead, then what? No, beta. When the tooth dies, then it becomes brittle, and one day it can break. So before it breaks by itself and can cause other harm, so before that, he chop off and he place a cap over it with a glue, and this cap will not break. It is made up of material which normally cannot break with a type of food, even 4 times the hardness of the food that we are eating. This cannot be broken. I hope you understand the root canal, and this is also understood. But one more thing, the number of root in a teeth. Normally, incisor and canines have a single root. This picture that you see is a single rooted tooth. That means it is an incisor or canine. The premolars and molars, they have either 2 or 3, 3 or 2. Premolars and molars, they may have 2 or they may have 3. They may have 3 or they may have 2. It is better you learn like this. 3, 2, 3, 2, 3, 2, 3, 2, upper 3, lower 2, upper 3, lower 2, 3, 2, upper 3, lower 2, upper 3, lower 2. Just learn this. Which means that the premolars and molars of the upper jaw has 3 roots, premolars and molars of the lower jaw has 2 roots. Only one exception is here, and which is the first premolar of the upper jaw. The first premolar of the upper jaw has, in place of 3, only 2 roots. The first premolar. That's the only exception. Even if they don't, mostly they don't highlight the exception. They may simply ask you how many roots are there in the incisor 1, canine 1, premolar or molar which one? Upper jaw 3, lower jaw 2 roots. Except one I said, that is the first premolar of the upper jaw has 2 in place of 3. Okay, bachcho? So that's about the teeth, and the type of teeth also explained to you. I think all the points that can be asked in a teeth, you can now do that. No more, no more dentistry now, because I don't know all this dentistry, whatever I have learned because of the therapy itself. This is not my subject, so I don't know much dentistry, and moreover, beta, here we are collected to crack the NEET. Next one is, after that, there is pharynx. After the oral cavity, you have the pharynx. Pharynx leads to larynx. Pharynx, now pharynx has 2 parts, upper and lower. After the pharynx, there can be 2 options. There is an opening called glottis and an opening called gullet. Ventrally, glottis is there, and dorsally, gullet is there. This opening leads to the windpipe. This is the upper part called larynx, and then it leads to trachea, the windpipe. And the other one is, it leads to a thin walled tube called esophagus, the food pipe, esophagus. This is the larynx, and this is trachea. So this complete means the windpipe. Better, the food should not enter into the larynx, or else it can be very dangerous. So what to do? It has to be stopped. Who stop it? God has made arrangement for that. There is a flap-like cartilage, elastic cartilage, a flap-like elastic cartilage lie above the glottis, and this is therefore called epiglottis. This closes the glottis whenever there is a swallowing. So whenever we swallow, this larynx rise up. You can even see that whenever I try to do the swallowing action, see my neck region. Try to see my neck region. You can notice something, so that you understand that during that reflex, there is some activity happening. See. You will find that it is going up and little back, up and back. Larynx is rising up. Again. In this movement, the epiglottis comes over the glottis, and the food cannot get this opening open. And that's the reason it can go into the other option, which is the gullet. Gullet leads to esophagus. Esophagus is a thin walled tube extending from the pharynx through the neck and thorax, and opening there is an opening through the diaphragm, piercing the diaphragm and then leading to a J-shaped structure, a bag-like structure called stomach. Learn the line about the esophagus, thin-walled, extending from the pharynx, going through the neck and thorax, piercing the diaphragm, and then opening into stomach. Stomach is a J-shaped structure. If I show the abdominal cavity and the thoracic cavity, you know that there is a partition between the abdominal cavity and the thoracic cavity. You know that, okay? Now, please learn. So this partition is called diaphragm, and this is the abdominal cavity. This is the thoracic cavity. Okay. Now, where are these organs? You can understand that you can make it in 4 quadrants. This is upper quadrant, lower quadrant. Upper, this side is right, this side is left. Upper right, upper left, lower left. Right now, we have to just concentrate on the upper quadrants. The liver lies on the right hand side here. So here lies the liver. The liver, this is the 2 lobes of the liver. The liver lies here. And the stomach is on the left hand side, bachon. Stomach is here coming the esophagus and then the stomach, the J-shaped stomach. Okay. Stomach leads to a short part of the small intestine, which is known as the duodenum. This is the first part of the small intestine. Now, this diagram is to make you understand that which is where. On the right hand side, liver is there, and the stomach is on the left hand side, beta. Please remember that. It's a J-shaped in humans. After that, a C-shaped duodenum. It is the shortest part of the small intestine. After that, what? Yes, after that, there is a coiled jejunum. Jejunum is coiled. After that, what? After that, highly coiled ileum. After that, highly coiled ileum. So the 3 parts are duodenum, C-shaped, somewhat coiled jejunum, and highly coiled ileum. Okay, you understand the 3 parts? Okay, so we'll come to that place. I'll now come here at the stomach. Stomach. Now here. Done. But a stomach has 2 surfaces. So there is an outer curvature of the stomach and the inner curvature of the stomach. That is one thing. But you have to understand that the 2 ends of the stomach can be called, this end is called cardiac end because it is nearer to the heart, and this end is called pyloric end, pyloric. But so please note down that the region where the esophagus opens, this region is known as cardia. This region is called cardia. Above the upper part, this part is the fundus. The part beyond this, up to this, here is a sphincter, a circular band of circular muscle. This part is the pylorus, and rest of the part is body. The largest part is body. Once again, cardia, fundus, pylorus, body. Cardia, fundus, body, pylorus. Understood? These are the 4 different parts of the stomach. Is the point clear to everyone? Okay. So there is a sphincter at the entry of the cardia and a sphincter at the exit of the pylorus. This sphincter is known as cardiac sphincter, also known as gastroesophageal. Because of the obvious reason, it is called gastroesophageal sphincter. Okay, this sphincter is called gastroesophageal or cardiac sphincter. Very, very important thing. And here also the sphincter is called pyloric sphincter. Pyloric sphincter. But don't tell me, I'll ask you some question. Name the sphincter which is present between the pylorus and the first part of the small intestine. Name the sphincter present between the pylorus and the first part of small intestine. Come on, who will write? Yes, you can. I know the limitation. You can just write the first name. I'll understand. Yes, you are right, but it is pyloric sphincter. Name the sphincter which guards the backflow of food into the esophagus during the churning movement of the stomach. Malli. Name the sphincter which prevents the backward regurgitation of food during the contractions of the stomach. Yes, G sphincter, very good. G cardiac, wonderful answer. G gastroesophageal or cardiac sphincter. Okay, and that's the reason the duodenal content cannot go back into the stomach. Okay, yes, sometimes it does, and that is not a normal thing. That is vomiting. It is due to reverse peristalsis, but normally the peristalsis is forward movement. From the lower two-thirds of the esophagus, peristalsis begins. Upper one-third of the esophagus is voluntary. It is voluntarily controlled. But last part of the stomach is that the mucosa of the stomach is thrown into longitudinal folds. Remember that these folds can be seen only when the stomach is empty. When the stomach is full, it is distended. And at that time, these folds disappear. First of all, where these folds are and how do they look like so that some imagination can occur in the mind. Let's begin. There are longitudinal folds can be seen here when the stomach is empty. They can disappear when the stomach is full. It is just like this is a wrinkle, like wrinkles. We stretch and wrinkle disappear, and then otherwise wrinkles are there, and therefore it is given the same name. Okay, so this is called gastric rugae. R-U-G-A, rugae, gastric rugae. Beta, this means gastric rugae, and ruga means wrinkles. Ruga means wrinkles. Remember that gastric rugae are only in the empty stomach, empty stomach, empty stomach. In the full stomach, the rugae disappear. Please understand that. The mucosa of the stomach has many glands. These are tubular glands, okay, invagination of the mucosa, and these glands are called gastric glands. So mucosa, 2 points we have done here, number one. And what is mucosa? Mucosa is the innermost lining of the gut. Any pathway which is open to outside is pakka lined by mucosa, whether it is the gastric pathway or the gastrointestinal pathway, which means the alimentary canal, or whether it is a respiratory passage, or whether it is a urinogenital passage. All the passages are lined by, internally lined by mucosa, right? Because these are open to outside and they should prevent, they are helping in prevention, okay? Understood? And other functions of the mucosa also is that this mucosa is thrown into invaginations, and those are called the gastric glands. Gastric glands. But to also remember that in the mucosa, there is a lymphoid tissue, different regions of the mucosa. Some patches of the lymphoid tissue can be seen. In fact, in the body, almost 50% of the lymphoid tissue is present in the mucosa alone. Not only the element, I'm saying mucosa in general, mucosa of the alimentary canal, of the respiratory passage, or maybe the urinogenital. Mottam, complete, total, around 50% or little more than 50% of the lymphoid tissue is present in the mucosa. Do you know by what term we represent that lymphoid tissue? Do you know that? Yes, beta. Sir, is mucus and malt is same? No. Malt is the term used to denote the lymphoid tissue in the mucosa. And mucus is a substance. It is a substance which is secreted to prevent the, anything should not harm the epithelium. Above the epithelium, it is just a covering. Okay, bachcho? Understood? So we have malt. Malt means mucosa associated lymphoid tissue. What is malt? Mucosa associated lymphoid tissue. Understood? Is the point clear to you? And where is the mucosa? All the passages open to outside. What are those? Digestive canal. Two openings are there, upper and lower. Then respiratory passage openings are there. And the urinogenital, they also have openings. Right? All these passages, they are internally lined by mucosa. And what is mucosa? Mucosa means mucous membrane. Mucosa is a word that means mucous membrane. Bachcho, I think you understood the gastric rugae. Let me explain you the small intestine now. Small intestine is divided in parts: duodenum, jejunum, and ileum. Which one is the longest part of the small intestine? Come on. Which one is the longest part of the small intestine, bachcho? Tell me, longest part of small intestine. No, not jejunum, ileum. Beta, remember the length. The longest part of the small intestine, the length is in the order of duodenum, jejunum, ileum. Okay, so ileum is the longest one, jejunum, then jejunum. Ileum is longer than jejunum, and jejunum is longer than duodenum. Okay, so this is the order of the length. Duodenum is the shortest part, beta. You know the length of duodenum is the width of 12 fingers. 4 fingers, 4 fingers, 4 fingers. That's it. This is the length of duodenum. Understood? That is the reason it is called duodenum. Duoden means 12. Duoden means 12. Duo means 2. Den means 10. Okay, just like, it's like, in our language we say, Irvai Rundu. So, Irvai means 20 and Rundu means 2. That means 22. In this language also, it means duoden. Duo means 2. Den means 10. That means 12. The length of the duodenum is the width of 12 fingers. 12 fingers, understood? Got it? So it is the smallest part, and ileum is the longest. This is C-shaped. This is coiled, and this is highly, highly coiled. Understood, beta? So these three parts. Inside the small intestine, the mucosa is thrown into finger-like projections. What these projections are called? We call them villi. Shall we see the diagram of villi? Okay. What I can do, I can show the inner layer, and I'll show the villi. So, beta, this is one villus. This is one villus. Very focus here. One villus. Then there is a gap between the other villus. Another villus. What is villus? Nothing but singular of villi. Again, there is a gap here. Okay. Now I'll show the cells. Okay. So simple columnar epithelium, simple columnar glandular. Which gland? Mucus gland. Okay. Then what? Then something important. The exposed surfaces, they have got membrane projections. And what they are called? They are known as microvilli, also called brush border. So beta, this is microvilli, also called brush border. Microvilli, also called brush border. You can see these are the cells, epithelial cells. Small intestine, a villus, microvilli. Both of them help in increasing the surface area up to many times, drastically, enormous increase, up to 1,000 times, okay? Not twice, not thrice, not 10 times, up to 1,000 times increase in the total surface area. Now, when more the surface area, better efficient digestion is. Hope you understand, okay? So, beta, this one I'll try to show here. Okay, so I'll show this one. Microvilli, also called brush border. Some of the cells are goblet cells. Then the brush border. Some of the cells are goblet cells. Some of the cells are goblet. I'll show some more goblet cells. So goblet cell. Goblet cell produce mucus. Goblet cell produce mucus. Okay. I'll show one more goblet cell here. Some of the cells are goblet cells. Goblet cells. Okay. Goblet cells produce mucus. Goblet means cup. It look like a cup. Okay. It look like a cup. Therefore, goblet. Cup. Okay? Like this. A cell having a cup inside. Goblet. So this is a goblet cell. Goblet means a cup, a mug. This is a mucus. Okay. So this is a goblet cell. But I hope now very, very important thing I am now telling you is what is there in between the two villi. Just see this one. What is this called? There is a gap here. And what is the meaning of the gap? What is the gap called? Gap is called crypt. But these are not the ordinary crypt, beta. These are not the simple ordinary crypt. There are special type of cells can be seen here. These cells produce many digestive enzymes. The cells are producing digestive enzymes. In fact, the cells are producing a secretion, a juice called succus entericus. Succus entericus. Succus entericus means intestinal juice. Intestinal juice. Who is producing them? Numerous crypt. These are the crypts. Crypts. Scientists called Lieberkühn studied them. We give the name as crypts of Lieberkühn. Lieberkühn, please pardon me for the wrong pronunciation. Because the European names, they don't have pronunciation and the spelling. The spelling and pronunciation are not same. These are European names. But I just know, I can just, and that's an easy way of remembering the spelling also. So I remembered as Lie, L-I-E, Lie. Then there is a bear, B-E-R, bear. And there is a Kun, K-U-H-N. Okay. So crypt, this is the scientist's name. These crypts, again, Malli, these are the intestinal glands. These are simple tubular intestinal glands. Some type of cells are specialized to produce some antimicrobial. Some type of cells are specialized to produce antimicrobial. These are known as Pannett cells. Pannett cells. They produce antimicrobial. 2017 NEET examination. Antimicrobial. Antimicrobial. Some cells, a specialized cell called Pannett, P-A-N-E-T-H, Pannett cells, they produce antimicrobial substances. But please understand that only the small intestine has villi and microvilli, and also the small intestine has crypt. Large intestine does not have villi, microvilli, or even the crypt. Small intestine, the last part ileum opens into a blind sac-like structure called cecum. Just near the ileocecal junction, there is a small finger-like blind diverticulum. This diverticulum is a worm-like. It is called vermiform appendix. Now, this diverticulum is actually a vestigial structure. In our herbivorous ancestor, it is producing the enzyme to digest the cellulose. Understand? But we don't digest cellulose. And that's the reason it becomes vestigial. It's still present, but highly reduced. This worm-like, this is called vermiform appendix. The cecum open into colon and colon into rectum. So cecum, colon, rectum, anus. Cecum, colon, rectum, anus. Now colon is differentiated into 4 regions. The ascending colon, the transverse colon, descending colon, sigmoid colon, and rectum. You understood this one? Once again, the ileocecal junction, the junction between ileum and cecum. The junction between ileum and cecum. At that junction, there is a, again, there is a sphincter is there. At that junction, there is a sphincter. Where? Ileocecal junction. That is called ileocecal valve or ileocecal sphincter. Then what? Just quickly see the board. Suppose this is the ileum opening, and here is a sac-like structure with a finger-like projection. Okay, so you can see a finger-like projection here, and this is known as the vermiform appendix. It leads to colon. The different parts of the colon can be understood by understanding this band of muscle. These are the band of muscle. Okay, the different part of the colon can be understood by through this band of muscle. This is a muscularis. Okay, so beta, this is ascending, transverse, descending, sigmoid. These are the colon. Okay, so this is again, I'll make it ascending colon, transverse, descending, sigmoid, ascending, transverse, descending, sigmoid, and then this is rectum, and rectum opens at as anus. So there is a band of longitudinal band of muscles. This is ascending colon, transverse colon, descending colon, sigmoid, sigma-like, sigmoid colon, rectum, and this opening is anus. Here there is a sphincter. At this place there is a sphincter. This is called ileocecal sphincter. And at this place another pair of sphincters are there. A sphincter internally present and a sphincter present externally. So it is internal anal sphincter, and one sphincter is outside, which can be called external anal sphincter. This is a skeletal muscle actually. External anal is a skeletal muscle, and we can control the contraction of this skeletal muscle. Since it is encircling this region, it is working like a sphincter. So this is voluntary. This is external anal sphincter, and this one is IAS, internal anal sphincter, and this is involuntary. Better these pocket-like folds, these are known as haustra. These are called haustra. This is cecum. There are many symbiotic microorganisms. Remember, SA for cecum, SA for symbiotic. Many symbiotic microorganisms. Remember, S for cecum, symbiotic microorganisms. The same organisms can be found inside the vermiform appendix near the ileocecal junction. Bachcho, then I should tell you the histology of the gut, and that is the last part to be done now. Histology of the gut. Okay, so another 2-3 minutes I'll be doing the histology. I could have used the pictures already made, but then I find that this is the best learning when something is drawn in front of you, and step by step algorithmic way your mind understands that. The histology of the gut. Outermost layer is nothing but the visceral peritoneum. Innermost layer is the mucosa. Just now we discussed innermost is the mucosa. Mucosa means the mucous membrane. Tarvata, we have inside the outermost is the muscles. We have layer of longitudinal muscle. Then there is a layer of circular muscle. I am just making half of it. This is understood. This is longitudinal muscles. Longitudinal, why I am making dots? Because it's going, the fibers are going parallel. You cut in the transverse section. This is a transverse section of gut. Okay. This is a general diagram we are drawing. Then the layer of circular muscle. Here is a layer of circular muscle. But then the layer is known as submucosa. So I'll tell you from where is submucosa. From here is submucosa. submucosa. This is submucosa. After this green line is the mucosa, and inside this you'll find this is submucosa. Submucosa. So mucosa, submucosa, then muscularis, serosa. Once again, serosa. This complete is muscularis. Muscularis, you can also say with me. And this one is submucosa because it is beneath the mucosa. Submucosa, mucosa, and this one, white one, is the mucosa. This is mucosa, which also means mucous membrane. Mucous membrane. Mucous membrane. Outermost is serosa. And what is serosa? It is a layer of visceral peritoneum. It's a layer of visceral peritoneum. What is a peritoneum? Peritoneum is a membrane and some connective tissue. Epithelium and some connective tissue. Which epithelium? Mesothelium. 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 And then some connective tissue. Underlying connective tissue. Underlying connective tissue. So this serosa, so here there is a mesothelium and underlying connective tissue. As you go from outside to inside, mesothelium and underlying connective tissue. And here we have the coelomic fluid or peritoneal fluid here. Bachcho, I hope you understand, okay? You understand this membrane, it is nothing but visceral peritoneum, serosa. Serosa is nothing but visceral peritoneum which is attached to the surface of the gut, become the outermost layer. Serosa, muscularis, some mucosa, mucosa. Now if someone asks you, where is the circularis, outer or inner? Like that. So what I did, I remembered olis. I just remembered olis, O-L-I-C, olis, O-L-I-C, olis. You know what this olis is? Outer longitudinal, just 2 more minutes. Outer longitudinal inner circular. Once again, outer longitudinal inner circular, olis. You understand? Olis means outer longitudinal inner circular. In some parts, for example, the stomach, there is yet another layer found, and that is known as oblique layer. In stomach, there is an oblique layer present. Okay, so outer longitudinal, inner circular, and an oblique layer also there. Okay, so it means that outer longitudinal, middle circular, and innermost is oblique. But this is only in the stomach. If a question comes, which of the following part has the thickest muscularis? Stomach. Which of the following part, the churning action is most powerful? Stomach. Because it has got thickest 3 layer of muscularis. But so another point that can come is in the submucosa. What you can find in the submucosa? Answer is we can find in the submucosa loose connective tissue, then blood capillaries, then lymph capillaries, and lots of neurons. In fact, a nerve plexus, neuronal network can be seen in the submucosa. A neuronal network can be seen in the submucosa. It is said that the gut has a brain of its own. It has a brain of its own. The functions are controlled by these nerves, these neurons only. Another such network of neurons can be found in between the 2 muscle layers, outer longitudinal, inner circular. So now there are only 2 layers of muscle, the nerve plexus. I make the nerve plexus by yellow color. So one of the layer is between the longitudinal and circular muscle. This is one nerve plexus. One nerve plexus is present here in the submucosa. So many neurons are there that in the body, second highest in the brain, the neurons are present here. They are controlling all the works like secretion, like movement. The one that is present between the muscle layer, this controls the movements of the gut, movements. And the one which is present in the submucosa, it controls the secretions of the gut, This represents enteric nerve plexus. The word plexus means a network. It means a network. Plexus means a network. Once again, the one which is between the muscle layer. Now, what the name can be given to it? It is myo plus enteron, which becomes myenteric plexus. Myenteric plexus. Myo matlab muscle, enteron gut, muscle of the gut, myenteric plexus. And this one is very easy. This is called submucosal plexus. This is called submucosal plexus. So beta, two nerve plexuses. Here we have two nerve plexuses. Understood? Shall I tell you one last thing? The myenteric plexus is also called Orbeck plexus, and the submucosal plexus is also called Meissner's plexus. Once again, myenteric, the muscle, myenteric, also called Orbeck, Auerbach, Orbeck plexus. Myenteric plexus, also plexus, is also called Orbeck plexus, and submucosal. If you can remember easily, then you can remember, or you can leave it. Because NCERT has not given, so I'm not very sure. This is called Meissner's plexus. Meissner's plexus. But to be on the safer side, I always do it, and it is very important also for the body because it is controlling. Now, can you please tell me what the myenteric plexus control, what the M control, what the S control? Come on. What the M control and what the S control? What is the myenteric controls? Movements of the gut. Myenteric controls the movements of the gut. And what the submucosal control? The secretions of the gut. Are they totally independent of the central nervous system? No. Our autonomic nervous system control them. Autonomic nervous system control them, but then only control. Day-to-day activity are taken care of by these nerve plexus. Bachcho, in the submucosa, see, all the glands are mucosal in origin. One gland is submucosal in origin. And these special glands are found only in the duodenum. These glands can be called submucosal gland. Malli, I told you that mostly glands are present in the mucosa, but one gland can be found in the submucosa. Like, for example, like this villi, and between the villi, crypt is there, and then you can find that the crypt is going deeper like this, and there is a gland here, and then it is coming like this. Okay, so this gland can be seen in the submucosa, and this is called submucosal gland. It is only found in the duodenum. These can be called the Brunner's gland, beta. Submucosal gland. These can be called submucosal gland. This one. These can be called submucosal gland. Submucosal gland. Or another name of submucosal gland is Brunner's. Another name is Brunner's gland. And with this, I come to the end of today's class, bachcho. I am very thankful to you. You have kept patience despite seeing that many people are dropping off. I can understand their problem also, like not an issue. Some people are hungry, some the mobile phone got discharged, some, like there are many problems, but still all my children are really very good, those who are in the class. Very, very good. In fact, you people are so, it looks like you are so disciplined, just like my section 1 in my offline class is disciplined. Okay, bachcho, so that's my perception, and please keep up my perception. So what do the Brunner's gland secrete? Can you please tell me? Brunner's gland secrete what? Number, sure. What the Brunner's gland secrete, beta? Brunner's gland? Come on. Brunner's gland secrete alkaline mucus. What they secrete? Alkaline mucus. My number is 988 717 and 3335. 9887173335. Please read the textbook if one or two things. These are submucosal gland, Brunner's gland. Did I tell you that they are only present in the duodenum? Brunner's gland are only present in the duodenum, only in the duodenum, in no other part. All the other glands are mucosal in origin. And bacho, that's all from my side. And I'm available on phone call, but then give a message. That will be a better thing to do. Give a message, and as the time permits, I'll be definitely answering you. From second onwards, I think first night, I'm going Dubai for my holidays. So after that, maybe I will not be able to answer, okay? Because I think in the Dubai, the WhatsApp doesn't work. After coming from there, that is on 8th October, again, I'm in the proper mode, okay? That's all from my side, bachcho. God bless you all. Take care, bye-bye, bless you, and happy Dashera to everyone. Happy Dashera, okay? Happy Dashera, everyone. Next Dashera, you will be enjoying with your medical college friends. Maybe you are going on outing, your parents have given you permission for going an outing. Some friends in the college, you're going for an outing. Maybe, so that will be the happiest Dashera ever. The first year's Dashera will be the happiest Dashera ever. Make it happiest, beta. God bless you. Love you all. Bye-bye. And my blessings for Dashera. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Take care. Oh my God. आपको प्रॉब्लम कब से हुआ ये नाक वाला?
10 साल